As we step into 2025, many of us are still carrying the weight of the past, haunted by regrets and longings. Others are caught up in the pressure of the future, constantly making plans, setting goals, and worrying about what lies ahead. We live in a world that encourages constant movement, multitasking, and an endless stream of distractions. But as we enter this new year, there's a critical question that we need to address. How do we become more present in 2025? Being present is not a luxury, it's a necessity for our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Eckhart Tolle, one of the foremost teachers on the art of presence, has spoken extensively about the power of the present moment. According to Tolle, being present is not about escaping the world or disengaging from life. It's about fully immersing ourselves in this moment, free from the distractions of the mind. To truly experience life in all its richness, we need to be anchored in the here and now. If we continue to let the present slip away, we risk missing out on the essence of life itself. In the coming year, as we reflect on how we want to shape our lives, it's vital to understand the importance of presence. Why? Because everything else, from our relationships to our work, our health to our happiness, is affected by how much we are truly here. If we are not fully present, we are not fully living. So, let's explore how to embrace presence in 2025, starting from the very core of who we are. The present moment, a path to freedom. When we think of presence, we often think of being in the moment. But what does that mean, really? For many, it's easy to think of presence in terms of physical location. For example, you might be sitting at your desk, listening to someone speak, or enjoying a meal. But presence goes beyond just physical awareness. It's about being fully aware and connected to what is happening right now, without judgment or distraction. In this book, we explore presence with connection as a way of being fully aware and connected. Eckhart Tolle often reminds us that the mind, with its constant chatter and endless stream of thoughts, is a major barrier to living in the present. When we allow our minds to take charge, we're no longer experiencing life directly. Instead, we're caught up in thoughts about the past, worries about the future, or judgments about the present. This keeps us from truly being here. In 2025, the world will continue to present us with many challenges, distractions, and opportunities. But no matter how busy or overwhelming life gets, the key to staying centered is to always return to the present moment. Every time we catch ourselves drifting away into thoughts or worries, we can practice bringing our focus back to the here and now. One of the most powerful teachings from Eckhart Tolle is the idea of the now. He teaches that the present moment is the only time that truly exists. The past is a memory, and the future is a projection. In reality, all we ever have is this moment. By embracing this idea, we can begin to free ourselves from the burdens of time and experience life as it's meant to be, free, expansive, and full of potential. But how do we start? How do we live more in the present in 2025 when everything around us is pulling us in different directions? Cultivating awareness, the first step toward presence. The foundation of presence lies in awareness. Eckhart Tolle often refers to this as watching the thinker, observing the mind without identifying with it. This is the first step toward freedom, realizing that you are not your thoughts. Once you begin to distinguish yourself from the constant stream of mental activity, you can start to experience life as it truly is. In 2025, one of the most important practices for cultivating presence is to learn to observe your thoughts without attaching meaning to them. This requires mindfulness, a deep awareness of what is happening in the moment without reacting to it. When we live mindlessly, we are like passengers on a train, constantly being carried away by the forces around us. But when we cultivate awareness, we become the driver of our own lives, able to steer in any direction we choose. This doesn't mean that we become passive or detached from life. On the contrary, presence allows us to engage more fully with life, but in a way that's not driven by unconscious reactions. It's about being fully aware of our actions, thoughts, and emotions as they unfold. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can respond from a place of clarity and intentionality. Start by practicing mindfulness throughout your day. You don't need to set aside hours for meditation, although that can be incredibly helpful. Instead, take small moments to check in with yourself throughout your routine. Before you check your phone, take a deep breath and notice how you feel. While eating, pay attention to the taste, texture, and smell of your food. While walking down the street, notice the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. These, quote, small practices will help bring you back to the present moment, and over time, they will become second nature. End quote. The power of acceptance, letting go of the need to control. Another powerful aspect of presence is acceptance. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we become tense, stressed, and disconnected. Eckhart Tolle teaches that true peace comes from embracing life as it is, rather than trying to mold it into something we think it should be. We don't have to fight against life or resist what's happening. We simply need to accept it. In 2025, many of us will face challenges, whether they're personal, professional, or societal. The temptation will be to try to control the outcome, to push for things to go our way. But the truth is, life will unfold as it's meant to. The more we try to control everything, the more we will suffer. But when we surrender to the present moment and accept things as they are, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or inaction. It means recognizing that the present moment is exactly as it needs to be, even if we don't fully understand it. When we accept what is, we stop wasting energy resisting and start focusing on how we can respond in the most aligned and conscious way. This is the essence of living in the present. If something difficult arises in 2025, whether it's a setback at work, a challenge in your relationships, or an unexpected life event, remember that presence begins with acceptance. You may not be able to control the situation, but you can control how you respond. By embracing the present moment, you open yourself up to the flow of life and the wisdom it offers, letting go of the past and future. One of the most challenging aspects of being present is letting go of the past and the future. Eckhart Tolle teaches that much of our suffering comes from identifying with past experiences and worrying about what's to come. We hold on to past hurts, disappointments, and regrets, and we constantly project our fears and hopes onto the future. In 2025, if we are to be more present, we must learn to release the grip of the past and future. This doesn't mean forgetting our history or abandoning our goals. It simply means not allowing the past or future to dictate our present experience. When we are constantly reliving old stories or imagining future scenarios, we miss out on the richness of the present moment. A powerful practice for letting go of the past and future is to simply remind yourself, this moment is all I have. When you catch yourself thinking about something from the past or worrying about the future, bring your focus back to the present. Notice the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. Feel the air on your skin. Breathe deeply and remind yourself that everything you need is right here, right now. As you practice this over the course of 2025, you will begin to notice a shift. Your mind will quiet, and your experience of life will become more vivid, more real. You will start to see that the present moment is not just a fleeting experience. It is the doorway to everything you seek. As you embrace the practice of returning to the present moment, the next step toward deepening your presence in 2025 is to cultivate a state of inner stillness. By now, you may have already started to notice the benefits of being more mindful and aware of the present. But how do we truly enter a state where we are no longer at the mercy of our thoughts, emotions, and distractions? How do we experience the peace and clarity that Eckhart Tolle speaks of in his teachings? The answer lies in the cultivation of inner stillness, the ability to be present without the interference of the mind's constant chatter. This is not about eliminating thoughts entirely, but about creating space between thoughts, where peace and presence can emerge. This is how resonant awareness is established. The power of inner stillness. Eckhart Tolle often speaks of the importance of stillness in his work. He explains that in the space of stillness, we are able to connect with our true selves. It's in this state that we can experience the peace of the present moment without distraction. In 2025, cultivating this stillness will be crucial for our ability to not only survive, but thrive. When we are constantly busy or distracted, we are disconnected from our true essence. We may experience moments of happiness or excitement, but these are fleeting and often dependent on external circumstances. Inner stillness, on the other hand, allows us to experience a deeper form of peace that is not dependent on the outside world. It is the peace that comes from being fully in the present moment, free from judgment, comparison, or the need for validation. To begin cultivating inner stillness, practice taking moments throughout your day to pause. You don't need to stop everything, but simply slow down and become aware of your breath. Close your eyes for a few seconds and listen deeply to the sounds around you. Feel the sensations in your body. In these moments of stillness, you are reconnecting with the present and allowing yourself to step out of the endless cycle of thought. The more you practice this, the more you will find that the peace of the present moment becomes a constant companion. Instead of chasing after happiness or fulfillment, you will begin to realize that it is always available to you in the silence between your thoughts. In 2025, make inner stillness a priority. Whether it's through meditation, mindful breathing, or simply being quiet for a few moments each day, you will find that stillness becomes your gateway to a deeper sense of presence. Letting go of the ego. An essential aspect of Eckhart Tolle's teachings is the concept of the ego, the false sense of self that we identify with and cling to. The ego is made up of our thoughts, beliefs, and attachments to external things. It thrives on identification with the past and future, constantly seeking validation, recognition, and control. But in the present moment, the ego has no place. The ego only exists when we are caught up in thoughts of who we think we are or who we want to be. In 2025, if we are to be more present, we must begin to loosen our grip on the ego. This doesn't mean that we abandon our sense of self or stop pursuing our goals. Rather, it means that we stop defining ourselves by our thoughts, our past, or our accomplishments. We recognize that our true essence is not tied to anything external. It is the stillness beneath the surface. To begin letting go of the ego, notice when you're caught in its patterns. Are you reacting out of fear, pride, or insecurity? Are you identifying with your achievements or failures? The next time you catch yourself in these ego-driven thoughts, take a step back and ask yourself, who am I, really? Beyond my thoughts, my past, and my future, who is the person experiencing this moment? By observing the ego without judgment, you can begin to loosen its grip on your life. This doesn't happen overnight, but over time, you will find that your sense of self becomes less attached to external circumstances and more connected to the present moment. In this state, the ego dissolves, and what remains is your true, unshakable presence. Embracing the flow of life. Another profound teaching from Eckhart Tolle is the idea of embracing the flow of life. Life, as we know, is always changing. We experience moments of joy, sorrow, success, and failure. But when we resist the natural flow of life, when we try to control, cling to, or push against what is happening, we create unnecessary suffering. Presence, however, is about accepting the flow of life as it comes, without trying to force it into a particular shape. In 2025, we will encounter many changes and challenges, and how we respond to them will determine whether we are fully living in the present moment or stuck in resistance. The key is to stop fighting against life as it unfolds. Instead, we need to flow with it. This doesn't mean passivity or inaction, but rather a deep surrender to what is happening right now, trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. One of the most powerful ways to embrace the flow of life is to practice non-resistance. When something difficult happens, whether it's a setback in your career, a personal challenge, or an unexpected change, don't immediately try to fix it or escape it. Instead, allow yourself to fully experience what is happening. Feel your emotions without judgment. Observe the situation without attaching labels or stories to it. Ask yourself, what is this moment asking of me? The more you practice non-resistance, the more you will find that life becomes easier, not because it's always smooth, but because you are no longer fighting against it. You are able to move with life instead of constantly pushing against it. This is true presence, fully immersed in the flow of life, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. Cultivating gratitude in the present. Sin. Gratitude is another powerful tool for cultivating presence. When we are truly present, we naturally become aware of the blessings and gifts that surround us. Often, we are so focused on what we don't have or what we want to achieve that we overlook the abundance that is already present in our lives. Gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, from what's lacking to what's already here. In 2025, make gratitude a central part of your practice. Take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, the small moments, the people in your life, the opportunities you've been given. By consciously focusing on gratitude, you train your mind to look for the good in every situation, which in turn enhances your presence. Start a daily gratitude practice, whether it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for each morning or taking a few moments before bed to reflect on the blessings of the day. This simple practice can transform your experience of life, helping you to stay anchored in the present and appreciate all that is. As we continue to explore how to be more present in 2025, it's crucial to understand that presence is not just a practice or a concept. It's a way of life. Living fully in the present moment is about more than just being mindful or letting go of the past and future. It's about shifting your entire approach to life, embracing each moment as it comes, and finding joy in the simplest of experiences. Concentrating your attention on our future in this moment compels you to concentrate your mind in the simplest of experiences. In the final part of our exploration into presence, we will look at how to integrate these practices into everyday life, and how to stay grounded in the present amidst the distractions and demands of modern life. Living with awareness. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate presence in 2025 is to live with awareness. Awareness is the foundation of all presence. To live with awareness means to be fully conscious of what is happening in the here and now, without judgment, without attachment, and without distraction. It's about engaging with your life and the world around you in a way that allows you to deeply experience everything that unfolds. Living with awareness means noticing the details, the way the sunlight falls on the floor, the sound of a bird in the distance, the feeling of your feet on the ground. The more you bring awareness to these small moments, the more you will find that life is filled with beauty, even in the most ordinary moments. These moments, when fully appreciated, are what make life rich and meaningful. Lies in the vast background is more mysterious than anything you can fathom alone. To begin living with awareness, commit to being present in everything you do, whether you're eating, walking, talking, or working. Pay attention to what's happening in the present moment. How do the foods you eat taste? How does the wind feel on your skin? How does your body move when you walk? By giving full attention to the present experience, you can begin to dissolve distractions and bring your mind back to the here and now. Embracing the present in relationships. Another area where presence is essential is in our relationships with others. In 2025, as we continue to experience a world that is increasingly fast-pacing and digitally connected, it's more important than ever to be fully present with the people in our lives. Whether it's family, friends, or colleagues, the quality of our relationships depends on our ability to truly be there for each other, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. When we are present with others, we are able to listen deeply, without the constant pull of our own thoughts or judgments. We give the people we care about the gift of our full attention, allowing them to feel seen, heard, and understood. This is what creates meaningful connections. To practice presence in your relationships, start by giving your undivided attention to the person in front of you. Put away your phone, stop multitasking, and truly listen. Notice their words, their body language, and their emotions. Be fully available to them without distraction. This simple act of presence can transform your relationships, creating deeper bonds and more authentic connections. Letting go of worrying about the future. As we enter 2025, many of us may find ourselves worrying about what's to come. Will I achieve my goals? Will I be successful? What's next in my career or personal life? These questions are natural, but they can also pull us out of the present moment, keeping us trapped in the mind's endless cycle of future-based thinking. In Eckhart Tolle's teachings, one of the core principles is that the present is all we have. The future is uncertain and unpredictable, and when we spend too much time focusing on it, we miss the beauty of the now. Worrying about the future often leads to anxiety and stress, while being present allows us to experience life with a sense of calm and trust. To stop worrying about the future, practice bringing your awareness back to the present. When you find yourself caught in thoughts about what might happen, ask yourself, is this moment real? In this moment, am I okay? Am I safe? By grounding yourself in the present, you can free yourself from the grip of future-based worry and feel more at peace with where you are right now, creating a sustainable practice of presence. As we've seen throughout this journey, presence is not something that happens overnight. It's a practice, a daily commitment to being in the moment and letting go of distractions. In 2025, in a world that's filled with constant stimulation, this practice will be more important than ever. The key to sustaining a practice of presence is to integrate it into your everyday life. It's not enough to simply meditate for a few minutes a day or practice mindfulness when it's convenient. To truly live in the present moment, you must make presence a way of life. This means being mindful in your daily activities, embracing stillness, and letting go of attachments to the past and future as often as possible. This is possible as the present moment brings abound safety to your preference, and it allows us to breathe as often as possible. To help maintain this practice, start small. Choose one activity each day to be fully present with, whether it's eating a meal, going for a walk, or having a conversation. Set reminders for yourself to return to the present moment throughout the day. Over time, you will find that presence becomes more natural, and your life will feel more grounded and connected to what truly matters. As we reflect on how to be more present in 2025, we see that the key lies in returning to the present moment again and again, amidst life's distractions. It's about cultivating inner stillness, letting go of the ego, embracing life's flow, and living with awareness. By integrating these practices into our everyday lives, we can find peace and joy in the present moment, regardless of what the future holds. We've explored how to bring awareness to each moment, engage fully in our relationships, and stop worrying about the future. By letting go of distractions and embracing presence, we can create a life that is rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Subscribing to this channel would be a great idea if you want to keep exploring topics about being conscious, living in the present moment, or anything related to that. Reply with the word "now" in the comments when this message made sense to you, and if you want to continue growing in the future. Also consider giving this video a like or share with someone who might benefit from a gentle reminder to slow down in life and be more awake.